Hello everyone, how are we? Welcome to another reading vlog. This one is pretty ambitious. I've already done a reading vlog like this in October last year. I don't think I failed. Like, I still read a lot, but I definitely found it very difficult. And I was like, you know what? Let's do it again. Let's put myself through that for a second time. But I actually am really excited. I have been suffering a little bit on my phone recently. I have fallen into the unhealthy habit of doom scrolling on social media, and it's not good. It definitely could be worse, but I do definitely want to try and cut down on some of my screen time. So as you can see by the title, this video is going to be a swapping my screen time for reading vlog. And I'm so excited and nervous. So it's Monday right now, and the plan is to use my screen time from last week and try and read as much on that respective day. My average screen time for last week isn't too bad. The daily average was 4 hours and 15 minutes. That's actually kind of shocking. 4 hours and 15 minutes. So I think my thing is, on like the kind of larger screen time days, I'm not going to be too hard on myself if I don't make it, as long as I meet the daily average. So yeah, I'm just going to be mood reading this week. I haven't set a TBR or anything. I still have a lot of books on my May TBR that I haven't read yet. I still have to read my Patreon books, but I'm just really going to play it by ear and just read what I'm in the mood for. And I think that is going to be the most successful way to complete this challenge. I will reveal my screen time now, and obviously on each day I will give you a reminder for how long I need to read for, but daily average is 4 hours and 15 minutes. Today, Monday, is actually one of the biggest days. I have to read for 6 hours and 7 minutes. Luckily, I got up early this morning. I should have a good start, but 6 hours and 7 minutes today. Tuesday is 4 hours and 43 minutes. Wednesday is 1 hour and 49 minutes, which is fantastic because I actually have a really busy day on Wednesday. Thursday is 3 hours and 56 minutes. Friday is the longest at 6 hours and 31 minutes. Saturday is 4 hours 52, and Sunday is really chill. It's 1 hour 49 minutes. We'll see if I even get to Sunday, to be honest, if I make it that far. But 1 hour and 49 minutes on Sunday sounds very doable. As I just told you guys, I'm going to be reading for 6 hours and 7 minutes today. I'm going to be using the timer on my phone to make sure I'm getting all of the hours in. And we're just gonna read. We're gonna swap my screen time for reading time. I'm currently in the middle of 2 books, but I think I might start something new today just because that's what I'm in the mood for, and I feel like that is the key to success. But I'll tell you what I'm in the middle of currently, so you can expect to see these books throughout the week. The physical book I'm currently reading is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. I actually started this last night because I'm buddy reading this with my friend Amelie, so I hope to get this done either today or tomorrow. Not totally sure if I can actually finish a full book and then move on to this one today, but I'm confident that I can potentially do it tomorrow. But I'm on page 51, so I haven't read a lot. And I know this book is kind of universally hated by a lot of people, but I'm kind of enjoying it right now. I think it's a pretty strong start. Like, yeah, it is very much like a basic thriller kind of vibe, but that's really what I wanted when going into a Riley Sager book. Like, I know that if I'm picking up a Riley Sager book, it's going to be very formulaic, but very gripping. And that's kind of what this is giving so far. This follows our main character, Charlie. She recently lost her best friend. Her best friend was murdered, and from the gist of how she's talking about it, I believe she thinks it's her fault. She is dropping out of college and moving home to stay with her grandma, and she accepts a ride from a stranger at the college because they have some sort of like driving ride buddy system. So now she's stuck on the 6-hour car ride with a stranger, and she's starting to notice some really weird shit go down, especially considering her best friend was literally murdered. Charlie is also a massive fan of cinema, and so there's a lot of movie references, and she also can see movies in her mind, and she's seen a therapist for it, and he's like, those are hallucinations, babe. So she hallucinates, in which everything that's kind of happening around her is really kind of intensified. Is that a word? It makes it look more aesthetically pleasing, more cinematic, and that's kind of what she has going for her. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it is gonna be fun. I know that everyone hates it, but I'm not hating it right now, and I'm going in with an open mind. I really do like Riley Sagar's books, so I'm excited to read this one. I also know that like not a lot of people liked Home Before Dark, and that's one of my like favorites of Riley Sagar's. So I'm excited to keep reading, and then after this maybe I could read House Across the Lake, one of his other releases. But I love Riley Sagar's thrillers, honestly. They're just a fun time. So I'm excited to get this done this week. I'm also of course reading something on my Kindle. I'm reading a Kindle Unlimited romance, and this is called The Playlist. It is quite something. I'm definitely just reading this as like a fun kind of like romance that scratches that romance itch, but like isn't groundbreaking. It's not super good. I'm like 60% of the way through this, so I will definitely finish it this week. But this is about this is like a road trip romance between a girl and her like childhood best friend's brother, who she's like always been in love with. They've like always been in love with each other. And the reason I picked this up is because everyone's like, this is the book for Swifties. It's so full of Taylor Swift references, and I was like, oh my god, cute. Like that's really cute. Like every chapter is a title of a Taylor Swift song, but I thought that would be it. It's not. It's literally every single page there's a reference. Some of them are more obvious than others, but like Swifties know, and like it's just a bit much for me. Like I am a Swiftie, but like I don't understand what this trend is with romances where everything needs to be so Taylor Swift coded. Like, yeah, she makes great songs. I don't know. I could go on about this. I could go on about this, but this is kind of funny. Sometimes we need like a Kindle Unlimited palette cleanser, and this is exactly what this is. So yeah, I'm currently reading this as well. I'm sure I'll get through it very fast. The book that I think I want to start with today, I've been reading a lot of thrillers recently, so that's kind of why I want to like put this one down and continue it after I've finished another book. I haven't read a fantasy in a little bit, so I think I'm going to make a start on Gleam, which is the third book in the Plated Prisoner series. I read Glint last month, the second book, really loved it, and I'm sure this one will be just as good. It's a big, kind of chunky one, but they read so fast. Like I can read like literally 20 pages in a minute reading this book. No exaggeration, not even skimming it. This book is magic. I can just read it like that. It's so speedy. But I'm really excited to read this one. It's a King Midas retelling. It's very intense. It's very intense. We follow our main character, who is like a prisoner of war at the moment. She's gold touched. She's entirely plated with gold. It's so fun. It's so trashy. Literally one of my favorites, and it's described as fantasy romance, so I think we are going to be getting a bit of a romance in this book in the series. But yeah, I'm excited to read this one, so I think I'm going to start with this. I have nothing else to do today. I got up really early and did all the work that I needed to do, so I guess I'm just going to get started. I guess we're going to get the timer up and we're going to start reading for 6 hours and 7 minutes. I will obviously keep you all very updated. I will probably just read for the entire day, and then I'm doing a productivity stream on Twitch tonight with reading sprints. So hopefully that means that when I'm doing my, you know, daily stream, I can still get some time in for reading my screen time. We're just gonna get started. I'm gonna get cozy on the couch and I'll let you know how we go. Oh my god, I'm nervous. It's fine, it's fine. It's just for fun, it's fine. Guys, it's bad. I literally finished filming that clip and then proceeded to be on my phone for half an hour. I haven't even started. It's already going poorly, but it's fine. We're gonna get started now with Gleam. Let's go. Timer starts now. Hello everyone. It's now like 6 p.m. or like 5:45 at night, and I've only read for an hour and 27 minutes out of the 6 hours and 7 minutes I need to read today. So I think I have literally like 4 hours and 40 minutes left, and I've only read an hour and 27 minutes all day. It's okay though. Like, I'm not being too hard on myself because Ben has COVID. I had COVID the week before. I think I'm still kind of like dealing with the aftermath of it a little bit. Like, you know, I kind of feel like I'm experiencing long COVID. I ended up having a massive nap and I've only just kind of woken up now. I literally fell asleep with like all my rings and jewelry on. But I think because I'm feeling really gross, I might not stream and just spend the entire night reading. Like, I haven't done like a night reading with like a cozy vibe, candles lit, all that sort of stuff in a really long time. So I feel like now is the appropriate time to do so, when I'm just feeling health-wise a little gross. I've obviously, in that hour and 27 minutes, read some of Gleam. I am up to page 177. I basically just read this all in one go before I ended up like passing out. And again, like this is delivering exactly what I thought it would and what I needed it to deliver, which is just fast-paced fantasy. I'm actually lying, I think. I don't think it's fast-paced. The writing style is pretty slow. Like this book is 660 pages and I feel like a lot of it is kind of setting things up right now, but I can still read it really fast. Like it's still really readable, really bingeable, really easy. But I think maybe I'm lying when I say it's fast paced because the plot is moving incredibly slow right now. But what I'm really loving it is just what is happening with our main character. Like the juxtaposition of her in this book compared to her in the first book is exactly what I wanted and exactly what I needed. And it's exactly kind of where I saw the series going once I finished the first book. I was like, okay, our character is a bit of a wet sock, like she's a bit of a weakling, but we saw that character progression in the first book and obviously it's just getting better and better. Like we saw her kind of start to stand up for herself and like realize what she deserves. And I'm really excited with where the character is going. I feel like I'm really reading this for the character vibes at the moment and I just love that. There's also still no romance. Like everyone's telling me that this is like a fantasy romance series and I have not seen a single bit of romance just yet, so I'm waiting. I feel like the love interest is fairly obvious, but there's still no semblance of a romance. But the slow burn of it all, is delicious. Anyway guys, I think I'm gonna take my makeup off and just get in pajamas and get really cozy. I'll probably have like a cup of tea or a coffee. I mean, I have like 4 hours and 40 minutes more reading to do and it's like 6 o'clock, so that's going to take me to like 10 p.m. if I don't have breaks. So I feel like I should be having a coffee. Anyway, I'll let you know what I decide. I'm going to get all cozy first and I will let you know all my reading updates. Wish me luck everyone. Wish me luck. Day 1 is not going how I thought it would. I thought I'd be done by like 4 o'clock. Hello my loves, so we have 3 hours and 5 minutes on the clock, so I am basically halfway through all the reading that I need to get done today for the first day, but I'm well over halfway of Gleam. I'm on page 409 and this book is 660 pages, so it's really crazy to me that I could potentially finish this on the first day. Like that is wild. Like this is a 660 page book and I could potentially like nearly have it done in one day. I do have a lot of people comment like, how do you read so many books so fast? Like how do you have the time to read that? Like this comment is something that I get all the time and I always see other book creators get that comment of just people being like, how do you read so much? And it's one of those things, like I'm reading for 6 hours, right? If you read like for an hour every day, like you could potentially get like 2 books a week done. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I love reading. I love putting time aside every day to just spend some time with whatever book that I'm reading, whatever story that I'm consuming on at that particular moment. And so it's just something that I really love doing. So I make time for it and that's kind of how I read so much. Like, this has been 3 hours of uninterrupted reading spaced throughout the day, and you know, I've gotten halfway through a 660 page book that I'm really enjoying, which brings me to my next point, which I am really enjoying this. Okay, I'm like over halfway now. I sense it's gonna be another 4-star read. Every book that I've read in this series has been 4 stars, and this one is just as good. I think it might be my favorite right now. Like, yes, it is very slow moving in terms of the plot, but it's definitely like well structured. Like, it's not weirdly paced. I think it's paced in the right way. We now do have a romance, and let me tell you, it has definitely paid off. Like, the fact that it has been like 2.5 books before we even got the romance, I'm like, the wait was absolutely worth it. And that's why I love slow burn. Like, it just builds tension so well. I also know that the events in this book are all kind of leading up to a ball, like a royal ball, and I love like balls in fantasy novels. Every single fantasy novel that has like a ball scene and there's like a ball happening, shit always goes down at those like big events. So I'm so excited to read like that part of the book. Like, that's why I think I'm reading this so fast, because like it's kind of setting things up to happen later on that I'm really excited to read about. I feel like, yes, I did have a nap earlier and was very tired, and that did make me a little bit worried about this challenge. I was worried I was gonna fall behind. However, I'm feeling really confident now, because I know I'll probably finish this. I know that I'll really enjoy it, and then I can move on to one of the books that I'm already in the middle of that I mentioned at the start of the video. So we're feeling really good. We're feeling really good. I'm hanging out with a very sick Ben at the moment, so I'm just gonna go straight back onto the couch and keep reading, and I'll let you know if there are any major updates or anything like that. But I'm just really enjoying it right now. Guys, I finished Gleam, and I still have like an hour and 20 minutes to go. I cannot believe how fast I read this. It took me nearly 5 hours. Nearly 5 hours to read this one. So already, like, swapping my screen time for reading time is so successful, because on day 1 I've finished a 660 page book. Imagine how much I could have been doing last week when I was fucking doom scrolling on TikTok. It's actually ridiculous. I'm so pleased to have finished this. I'm really torn between giving it 4 or 5 stars, because this is definitely the best one in the series, and so I want to like acknowledge that this is the best one in the series. Do I think like technically it's a 5-star read? Like, probably not, but I had so much fun that I think I'm just gonna rate it 5 stars anyway, because like it's a 5 stars in my heart. Like, I had so much fun reading it. It's so entertaining. Our characters go through so much, and that fucking finale, like, so action-packed and incredible. Like, I could not put it down. Like, that ending was so fucking good, and I cannot wait to get onto the next book in the series. Like, I'm gonna be really sad when the series is over. I actually do own the 4th book. I have it sitting in my TBR cart, so I think I could potentially like pick that one up a bit later in the week if I am missing these characters. But like, fucking hell, I just really want to know what happens next. But also, the final book in the series doesn't come out for a little while. Like, it doesn't come out till like the end of the year, so it's like, do I want to read the 4th one straight away, or do I want to like take my time with it so then I'm ready for the final book when it releases? I will just see how much longer I can hold off reading the 4th one, but like, it's so addicting. Like, these books are so freaking addicting. I absolutely love them. Like, this is absolutely not the series that I thought I would fall in love with this year. Like, rating a book in this series 5 stars was not on my 2023 bingo card, yet here we are. Like, this is, no one is more shocked than I am. Like, if you've read these books and you watch my videos and you're like, Jamie, this does not align with your taste at all, like, trust me, I know, but you know, I'm just a gal that likes to have fun, and this is what these are. Anyway, yeah, I'm on 4 hours 49. I need to get to 6 hours and 7 minutes. So I'm gonna spend the next hour and basically 20 minutes picking up Survive the Night. Based on how that went, I think I can probably get up to the halfway point in this book if I do, like, you know, an hour and 20 minutes of uninterrupted reading, especially because it's a thriller. So again, it's like another really fast-paced read. So I think I'm gonna move on to this one and just try and read as much as possible. I'm not really tired right now, but I might get tired soon. So if you don't hear from me, it's probably because I'm too tired to let you know how I did, but I will let you know in the morning if you don't hear from me. But also, you might hear from me, so we'll see. Anyway, I'll see you in an hour and 20 minutes, hopefully. Let's do some more reading. Okay, I have half an hour left. It's getting really late, and Ben's upset that I'm neglecting him. So I'm gonna go read in bed with the book light that he gave me as a beautiful gift. And I will let you guys know how I go with Survive the Night in the morning. But I am anticipating that I will have a lot to tell you. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. Gorgeous people, as you saw, I completed my reading challenge yesterday. I feel so proud. And then I also did some reading this morning, and it's so crazy because it feels like I read for so long. Like, it genuinely feels like I read the entire morning, but it's actually only been 41 minutes, which is absolutely insane. If you remember from the start of the video, our required reading time for today is 4 hours and 43 minutes, and I've got 4 hours left to read. Like, I have to do 4 hours more of reading today, which, wow, okay. It definitely feels crazy how fast or how slow time moves when you're reading, if you're actually like tracking how much time you actually spent reading. Let's do some reading updates. I've nearly finished Survive the Night. So I read up to, I think, just over halfway last night, and then this morning I'm now at page 274. I have about 60 pages left. I feel like I'll finish this really fast. Like, I'm literally at the climax now. I'm at the climax of the novel. I'm just about to make a coffee, and then I'm going to continue doing my reading for the day because it's like mid-afternoon. I do need to do a stream tonight on Twitch because I didn't yesterday, which I feel really bad for, but I do need to do it tonight, and I think I can, like, you know, do that and also balance my 4 hours of reading. But yeah, I think I'll finish this really quickly and then either move on to A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon or something else. I haven't properly decided yet. Like, I don't know what I'm going to be in the mood for. I realize now I've been talking for nearly 2 minutes and I haven't told you my feelings on this. Okay, so I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video that this is following our main character Charlie, who has gotten in a car with a complete stranger, and she believes the complete stranger that she's in the car with is the guy that murdered her best friend. I can understand why this book gets the flack it gets. Like, I can understand how someone would be incredibly frustrated reading this book. It is a really, really frustrating novel for sure, but I don't think it's as bad as it was painted out to be, for me at least. Like, with the amount of 1-star reviews it has from people I follow, I was expecting it to be like absolutely garbage, made 0 sense, honestly trash fire based on what people say it's like. But honestly, it's just a really readable, kind of creative thriller with a really annoying main character. I don't think it will be getting a 1-star rating from me. It definitely won't be getting a 5-star. I think it might be sitting in the middle at 3 stars because at the end of the day, I have enjoyed my time reading this, and I have enjoyed getting really frustrated at the main character. Our main character is the equivalent of like when you're watching a horror movie, the main characters in that just like run directly into danger for no reason. That's kind of what our main character is doing. Like, she's stuck in this car with this man she believes to be a serial killer, and he is doing everything he can to basically spell it out for her that he is the man that murdered her best friend. And there's a moment where she literally, like, a policeman is there. There's a cop in the vicinity of the two of them, and she's just like, no, it's okay, I'll handle myself. And it's like, girly, like, what are you doing? But I don't really mind getting frustrated at her. Like I've always said about thrillers, I'm not reading thrillers for these amazing characters. It's not like I'm sitting here going like, oh my god, the character work in this thriller is fucking incredible. I just like reading the plot, and to be honest, if our character being an idiot is going to progress the plot, by all means, be an idiot. I do not mind. I think one thing for me is that there was, you know, of course with every thriller, there is a big plot twist. I didn't see any of these plot twists coming. I knew there had to be something. I knew, I'm not gonna like spoil anything for you guys. I knew there had to be something. Like, I knew it couldn't just all be that easy, and this is what it was exactly what it seems. But like, I do feel like the plot twists in here, I didn't see them coming, but I think that's because they're really stupid. Like, they're really not that good in terms of a plot twist. Like, I'm not sitting here going like, oh my god, so clever, I can't believe I didn't see that coming, that's amazing. I'm sitting here being like, hello, like, are we sure? Is that really what we're doing? Okay, that's how I'm feeling. But again, it's not like dissuading me from the book. I'm not like hating it. It's a really easy read, and I really like Riley Sagar's writing style. I do think he creates a really scary, like chilling atmosphere, and he definitely hasn't failed in this one. I think the downfall in this one is that like his character is fucking dumb. Like his character is just a stupid person. I like how creative it is with like her seeing the movies in her mind, like seeing the hallucinations, because for me, I'm like, that just gives it a little bit more of a creative edge. It means that you can kind of play with what is fact and what is fiction, what is real and what is all in her head. I really like that aspect to it, and I think it sets it apart from another kind of like forced proximity, like, oh no, I'm trapped with a serial killer, with someone I can't trust. It makes it a little bit different to those sorts of tropes that I've seen in other thrillers, and I am really enjoying that aspect. I do think it's really creative. But yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling about this right now. It will not take me long to finish the next 60 pages. Honestly, probably about half an hour, maybe even less. So like I said, I'm gonna go make a coffee. You guys can't really tell, it's so dark. It's literally so dark, and it's only 3 p.m. I literally hate New Zealand winter. I hate it so much. So yeah, I'm just gonna turn the lights on and get cozy with a coffee and finish this, and then let you guys know what I move on to next. I will let you know when I'm done, and yeah, let's continue on with our reading for Tuesday. Only 4 hours left. Only. Okay, let's go. Hello everyone. Ignore the sounds of the house being lived in. I live in a small place with one other person. Anyways.
My name is Ben.
They know who you are. Anyways, I finished Survive the Night. I now have 3 hours and 40 minutes left to go for the day, but I finished it, and you know what? I was not expecting that epilogue, and that made me be like, oh my god, wow. Am I like the only person in the world that likes this book? Oh my goodness, that epilogue kind of got me. It was the same with The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sagar. And I was like, yeah, 3 stars. And then like the epilogue happened, I was like, 4 stars. And so now it's like everything about the epilogue makes like the rest of the book make sense. It genuinely does, and I'm like, yeah, some of it is a little bit ridiculous, but like I feel like it was meant to be ridiculous. Hang on a second, you are so misunderstood. I actually love this now. I'm like 4 stars. I wish I had the camera rolling. I wish I had the camera rolling for when I read that epilogue, because genuinely I like audibly was like, no way. And when I was like, oh yeah, plot twist, but like in a dumb way, the plot twist of the epilogue, I'm like, that's when I was like, oh my god, so clever. Like, how did I not see that coming? But it makes so much sense. Okay, work. Everyone who told me I was gonna hate this, welcome to the biggest plot twist of 2023. I kind of loved this. I'm so sorry, I actually did. 4 out of 5 stars. Riley Sagar, you have impressed me once again. Now I don't know what I'm gonna read. Let me get some options. Because I don't know if I want to do a witch's guide just yet. So I just pulled out 3 books from my room. I don't know if I want to do another thriller, but like I'm also really keen on maybe reading As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, which is the final installment in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I think just because of how much I love Survive the Night, like I could jump into another one. I don't know if I'm vibing that though. I don't know, but it's an option. We also have The League of Gentlewomen Witches, which is kind of same vibe as A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, but this is the sequel to Mysterious Society of Lady Scoundrels, and I've been wanting to read this for so long. And then we also have All In by Emma Scott, which is the sequel to and the second book in the Full Tilt duology, and this is a romance. So we've got like contemporary, very heartbreaking, very sad romance, because the first book was really sad. Comedy, historical, fantasy romance, and like YA murder mystery thriller, which is apparently really dark. Ben, can you make a decision for me? What book do I read?
The middle one.
This one? Okay, Ben has decided we're reading The League of Gentlewomen Witches. This is about a secret league of women skilled in subtle arts, witchcraft, and then also a pirate. I don't know if they're enemies. I don't know, this is gonna be so fun. I haven't read a book like this in a very long time. Okay, well, I guess we're continuing on with this book. I'm so excited. I'm gonna start the timer, well, continue using the timer, and we're gonna try read for 3 hours and 40 minutes and see how much of this I can read. So, I'll let you know my thoughts, but I'm very excited. Thank you, Ben. Anyway, see you soon. Hey guys, so it has been 2 hours and 25 minutes. So I have like another 2 hours and 20 minutes, I think. I definitely think that I can complete today's time. It is a little bit later now, but like I am a bit of a night owl, so I imagine I won't have any trouble staying awake. Also, if you can hear Ben in the next room, it's because he's playing his games. But I have read some of the League of Gentlewomen Witches. I'm on page 140, so not quite halfway, but honestly, based on just how I'm reading with the timer and everything, I really would not be surprised if I finish this within like the next 2 hours and 20 minutes, to be honest. Like, again, it's not a super difficult read. It's really, you know, quite a speedy one. Honestly, I have kind of like shocked myself with how fast I've been reading and how much reading I actually get done within like the time frame. I am already anticipating comments from people being like, you're making it up, you're skim reading, like how are you doing that? Don't even bother, guys. Like, I'm shocked myself. But this novel, oh my god, sorry, I have a lot of brain fog right now talking about this because I'm currently suffering from long COVID. Like, I'm feeling like garbage tonight, so excuse my demeanor if I'm looking a bit confused. I just have brain fog talking about it. Anyway, we follow our main characters, Charlotte and Alex. Charlotte is a witch in this kind of coven of witches called the Wiccan Society, and then there is Alex, who is a pirate, and pirates and witches do not like each other. Anyway, there's this amulet that's kind of been uncovered, and it's from like a really historical witch, and so many people are trying to like get the amulet, like everyone wants it. And so then it gets stolen, and Alex and Charlotte team up to try and get it back, and both of them want it for themselves, but they decide that the best course of action is to like team up to try and get it. However, it's like enemies to lovers. They like don't like each other. But of course, while they're like on this journey, it's a romance, like you guys know what to expect. I again am already really loving India Holton's sense of humor and her writing style. It just is so funny. I felt the exact same when I read the first book in the series, and it just feels like a comedy of manners, which is one of my favorite forms of comedy, where everyone is just like overly polite to each other even though they are being quite scathing. I just find it really amusing. Like, India Holton is hilarious. Like, the writing is hilarious. I am not really enjoying this one as much as I enjoyed the first one. However, I just feel like it was supposed to be enemies to lovers, but I feel like the romance moved a little bit too fast, and I think it's because our two main characters were just attracted to each other from the beginning. So already there's kind of, they're already kissing before page 100, and it's like, I want it to go a bit slower. Like, I want the tension to build. I want them to be on this journey as enemies or even platonically before anything happens between them. But you know, I've just read a sex scene at page 140, so it's all like before the halfway point. It's already moving too fast for me, and so I do feel like I haven't gotten to know the characters as much as I would have liked individually before seeing them like be together in a romantic sense, which is just a shame because I felt like it was really expertly done in the first novel. So I just feel like the pacing with this is a little bit weird. I also do wish it was a little bit witchier, if that makes sense. Like, it's witchy, but like I want the witchy aesthetic a little bit more. Like, I think I'm just being really particular because I had really high expectations. But yeah, I'm still really enjoying the writing style. I'm enjoying the process of reading it, but I'm just finding the pacing to be a little bit strange, and I wish I just got to know the characters a little bit better. I know that I'll get to know them more, I'm sure, and I'm really excited to see what happens with this amulet. Like, this storyline with them trying to like find this magic amulet, I do find interesting, and I want to see what happens to their relationship when things get a little bit complicated when they potentially find it. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of sitting on a 3 at the moment for me. It could be a 4. It's like a high 3 stars right now, just because of how much I love the writing style. Not as good as the first one, unfortunately, although I really love that we get to see the main characters from the first novel in this one quite a bit. Whenever they're on the page, I get really excited, so that's really fun. But yeah, I'm obviously going to keep reading this for the next 2 hours and 20 minutes, but first I'm just going to get into some pajamas, I think, and just do my skincare, make a little cup of tea, and hop into bed. And I think I might just wind down a little bit and take a little break and watch some YouTube, because I haven't actually watched YouTube in a while, and I'm looking at like my subscription box and I'm like, this looks like some good shit, and I haven't even watched it yet. So I might just like relax for a little bit, watch some YouTube, and then get straight back into reading. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'll see you very soon when I'm makeup free and I have a cup of tea and I'm ready to do more reading. Oh my god, the jump scare from me like looking nice to like me being ready for bed. This is the real me, guys. Anyways, I have an hour and 20 minutes left. I'm up to page 241 of A League of Gentlewomen Witches. I think that's 100 pages left. So yeah, I'll definitely finish it, I think, in that time. Whether or not I start something new is to be seen. I'm actually so devastated. Like, you guys don't even know how devastated I am. I've come to the conclusion that I'm just not enjoying this. I just don't care about the romance, and I don't care about the characters, and I think I potentially would if we just had a little bit of time in the beginning to get to know them individually. Like, I love that the first scene of the novel was them like meeting each other and like kind of sparring. Like, that was cute. Like, but just give me a bit of time before they're like thrown together, like, and we're seeing them in all these scenes together, and then all of a sudden they're like kissing. Like, just give me a bit of time. It just means that I don't care about the romance. And so the way that the romance has progressed, and therefore like the plot as well, with like them trying to find this amulet, I just don't really care. And then that also means that like I'm no longer finding it as funny, unfortunately. It's just missing the mark that like the first book hit so hard. And I wonder if maybe like my taste has changed. Like, would I still love the first book and give it 5 stars and consider it one of my favorite romances if I like reread it now 2 years later? I genuinely don't know. I'm really disappointed. I'm just finding it a little bit boring. I don't think it's because I've like overindulged in heaps of reading. I mean, like, yes, I have read for 9 hours this week and it is only a Tuesday, but I don't think that should matter. Like, you know, I've done 24-hour readathons before, and you know, the final book of the readathon is like a 5-star. Like, I don't know. I will still read the third one because that's 2 rival spies and that feels really fun and exciting, but I just hope that it still has the magic that the first one has. I'm so upset. Like, I'm genuinely like devastated, and I was just doing sprints with my patrons in Discord, and I like said like, no offense guys, it's kind of boring, and then everyone was devastated for me because they were like, Jamie, we know how much you were like excited for this one. And I'm like, I know. I did not expect to be rating Survive the Night by Riley Sager higher than this. Like, that was the opposite of my expectations. It's nearly midnight, so I'm just going to continue reading, get this next hour and 20 minutes done. I think after this one, if I do still have time on the timer, I might move to just my Kindle read, because that's, you know, really easy and a chill way to end off the night. But I will let you guys know what I plan on doing and what I end up rating this one, but I fear it's going to be a 2 stars. No one is more devastated than myself, trust me. Good morning everyone. It is Wednesday. I have just woken up and I had a big sleep because I finished, well, I read 4 hours and 36 minutes last night. I think I had maybe like 7 minutes left and I was just like, no, I'm too tired. I passed out. That's fine though, that's fine. 7 minutes off, who cares? But today, what is our time? Today, for Wednesday, we need to read for an hour and 49 minutes. Definitely super doable, super achievable. So I'm basically just gonna like make a coffee and get started right away. But first we'll do our little like reading update. I finished The League of Gentlewomen Witches. I think I'm going to be giving this 2 stars. I just feel like it was a little bit all over the place and I'm really disappointed. I just feel like the pacing was really off, and yeah, I just didn't care about the characters. I do feel like it was a little bit like more of the same in regards to this one and the first book, but like just not as good or as charming. But it's okay, it's okay. Onwards and upwards. We're not going to let this ruin the week. I then had a little bit of time left over and I read on my Kindle. I read the playlist, but not enough to like properly talk about because I passed out really quickly. I think I read like 5% of it, so now I'm like 55% of the way through. I think if I am going to finish that book during this week, I want to like sit down and properly have a good chunk of time to finish it. But anyway, enough about that. Today we're going to be starting A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon by Sarah Hawley. This is my Patreon book club book for May, and I'm super excited to read this one. This is one of my most anticipated releases of 2023. Basically, yeah, about a witch who accidentally summons a demon and no one knows that she's a witch. Her roommate doesn't know that she's a witch, so when she comes home and she sees this man, our main character explains that it's her boyfriend, and then they have to fake date while she tries to send the demon back to his realm. It just sounds so silly and so fun, so I'm gonna dive straight into this. I don't think I'll finish this one today. An hour and 49 minutes doesn't seem like a long enough time to finish this in one sitting, so I will just chip away at this slowly. I will be doing a spoiler-filled reading vlog on this for my patrons. So obviously I'm going to be updating there, but I will also still try and update you guys as much as possible as well, just without spoilers. Okay, well, I've done enough talking, so I'm going to go get started on day 3 in 1 hour and 49 minutes. Let's start the timer. Hello everyone. Okay, so it's like 8 o'clock. I'm about to do a Twitch stream for the day, and I've just been reading really slowly today, really not pushing myself, and I'm up to 1 hour and 10 minutes. So I believe I have like 40 minutes, 39 minutes left for the night, which I can definitely get done, I think. But during the 1 hour and 10 minutes, I have read 117 pages of A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. It's pretty good so far, I think. It's not like blowing me away, like it's not really anything special, but like it's a good time, I guess. Basically, we follow our main character, Marielle. She's a witch in this place called Glimmer Falls, and she's just not living up to her family's expectation of her magic. Like her magic's just not very strong. She's just not very good at magic. One day she accidentally summons a demon. Her mother comes over and is like, who is this? And she can't tell her mother that she fucked up her magic so badly that she accidentally summoned a demon. So she's like, it's my boyfriend. Now they're fake dating, but the demon can't leave until she bargains her soul for something. So they have to spend like a lot of forced proximity like together, while he keeps like basically asking her like, I need you to choose something so I can take your soul, otherwise I can't leave. While also this whole fake dating situation with her trying to like improve her magic and impress her family. And it's definitely very fun, it's very amusing. I think the sense of humor, while it's not laugh out loud funny, there are moments where I'm like, this is quite charming. Like it's quirky and it's charming, and it's a fun, unserious time. I think the pacing of the novel is really good. I really like seeing our characters get to know each other, and I really buy their chemistry. I think the author's done a great job at like making us believe that they're getting to know each other. It's not like insta love, it's not happening too slowly. It's just a good time, and I really like all the witchy vibes and the witchy atmosphere. It's really fun. So it's not giving me like the 5-star vibes. Like I'm not dying to read it. I'm not like itching to pick it up, but like when I do pick it up, I have a pretty good time. I feel like this could be a solid 3 stars by the time I finish it, but I'm not sure. So yeah, I think after stream I'm just going to read for another 40 minutes, and I will let you know when I'm finished with my time for Wednesday. I'm really glad that today's been a really easy kind of like chill day. I think tomorrow is pretty chill as well. Like I think it's like 3 hours, so I'm feeling really good about that. So I'm gonna go finish getting ready to do my Twitch stream, but I will let you know when I'm settled in to finish the reading for tonight. Good morning everyone. It is Thursday, so day 4. I completed yesterday, so I feel pretty good about that, even if the day itself wasn't great, no offense. But for Thursday we are doing 3 hours and 56 minutes. I've already started and I've read for 35, nearly 36 minutes today. I do have another busy day today, so I'm going to try my best to get through all of my hours, but luckily I have a Patreon Reading Sprints live stream tonight, so hopefully I can do a big chunk of reading with my patrons, and I'm really excited. But let's talk reading. So last night I got up to page 137 of A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I'm kind of enjoying this. I think I am enjoying this. I just feel like my mind was elsewhere yesterday, which is unfortunate for this book, but I also feel like I am reading it really slowly because I want to consume everything with lots of detail so I can like talk about it with my patrons, because it is for our book club. But I like reading it slowly. You know, I just read 3 books really speedily this week, and it's nice to kind of just really take my time with something. In terms of my reading today, I've read up to 75% of the playlist, which is the Kindle Unlimited romance that I'm reading. I think I have about 100 pages left. Basically, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is like like a friends to lovers kind of road trip romance. I definitely have issues with it. Like, for example, I think the romance moved way too fast, absolutely way too fast. Like, they're already kissing, you know, a few chapters in, and I think, you know, the character setup, like, I feel like we learned enough about the characters to kind of excuse that, but still it just means that a lot of tension is gone really quickly, and there's just so much sex in this novel, and it's really not what I expected. I don't know, like, I just don't want to see as much sex as I'm seeing. I've definitely explained this before, but when it comes to romance novels, I don't really care for smut. I don't need it, but I also don't care when it's there. But there's just like so much sex, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I don't want pages and pages and pages of sex. I want a relationship development. I want conversation. And we're definitely getting that because, you know, our characters are stuck in a car for, you know, an extended period of time. But I don't know. I just don't want all the sex. I think also I just have a massive problem with Swiftie books. Like, I like Taylor Swift, but not enough to read a novel where it's entirely Taylor Swift references. Like you saw, guys, that really cringe scene where she's just talking shit about Jake Gyllenhaal. I'm like, okay, it's just kind of cringe to me. Yeah, I can definitely see this being a 2 stars, but because I have like under 100 pages left, I am gonna finish it. And obviously I'll tell you my full thoughts here as much as I can, but I don't know, it's just kind of a nothing book to me. Do you know what I mean? I also really don't like aspects of the male main character. He's constantly trying to get our female main character like out of her shell and out of her like lifestyle where she plans everything and she overthinks everything, but in order to doing so, sometimes I feel like he really crosses boundaries. We get like flashback scenes where she's dealing with this really awful guy that she's been in a relationship with, and she's like, please don't go talk to him, please don't say anything to him, and he just ignores all of her wishes, and it's like, well, you wouldn't call me if you didn't want me to. I know it's like supposed to be romantic and he would like do anything to protect her and he would like fight people for her, but for me, I just don't like when romantic heroes like cross boundaries and like completely just don't listen to the heroine and do what they're like asking them not to do. I just don't like that. I don't like it in real life, and I don't like it in my romance novels. It's very rare that I'll be like, oh wow, that was so romantic in that book. Also, there was this whole scene where they went to Disneyland, and I fucking love Disneyland. I wanted to see more Disneyland content, and it didn't even tell me anything about what rides they went on. Like, give me, I'm a Disney, well, I'm not a Disney adult, but I'm a Disneyland adult, and I want to know about the rides. Anyways, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a little break and have some lunch, and I have to get prepared for an early stream on Twitch today, so I'm gonna, yeah, just get ready for that. And I think when I can just like fit some reading in, I really want to get this finished before I move on to reading A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. And then if I finish both of these books today, I will be impressed with myself, and I will move on to something else, and I'll let you guys know what book I choose when I choose to move on to something. I actually might not read this for sprints because I will want to update my vlog, and I feel like I can't do that on sprints. I'll just let you guys know how the day goes, right? We're gonna read on my Kindle, finish that, and then choose something, whether I continue with The Witch's Guide or choose something else. Okay, I'm starving. I'm gonna make lunch. I'll see you soon. Hello, gorgeous people. Okay, so I'm about to start reading sprints. We're at 1 hour and 12 minutes, so I still have quite a bit to do today. I did finish the playlist in that hour and 12 minutes. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. I just think, I mean, I said kind of everything that I needed to say when I first talked about it in the last clip. That epilogue, Jesus Christ, did it drag on. I swear to God, we saw their entire life story. It's a difficult one. Like, I feel like there were cute moments. I often find in most romance novels, I can find things to be positive about. Like, quite often there are cute moments, but the cute moments just don't outweigh the bad moments for me. But you know what? I really don't regret reading it. Kind of funny to laugh at. I do love a little cheeky giggle about books sometimes. But yeah, so I finished that. Now, I don't know what I'm going to start on reading sprints, because obviously I still have A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I think I'm going to complete that tomorrow. So choosing a book now means that I would love to try and finish a book within the next 2.5 hours, so I can then like just focus on A Witch's Guide when I wake up. I feel like As Good as Dead, this is like quite a chunky one, so I might save this for reading tomorrow but not starting tonight. I'm thinking All In by Emma Scott or Every Value Break by Peter Swanson. This is a thriller that I had on my TBR for the month and didn't end up getting to, but I love Peter Swanson's writing style. All In is a romance. So if I wanted like another romance vibe, I don't know, I think I might ask my patrons. I'm about to start and I kind of need to start right now. I have my coffee and I'm ready to go. Once I finish, I'll let you guys know how much I read during sprints and which book I decided to start with and all my thoughts, but I will see you guys very soon. This is gonna be the quickest update ever because I want to go to bed. I made it for Thursday. I realized none of my clips are like me proving that I actually completed it on the day. It may be past midnight, but this is me proving that like I have completed it on the day. I have about 20 pages left of every value break, so nearly finished it within the time, and I'm just gonna finish it tomorrow and let you know my full thoughts. But let me just say yikes. Let me just say yikes. It's past the amount of time that I've had to read, but I'm just gonna turn all the lights off and literally go into my bed and read a book on Kindle Unlimited, like start a new Kindle Unlimited romance outside of the challenge, because I don't want to go to sleep with this in my brain. I really don't. It's spooky, not in a good way. I'll just explain my full thoughts tomorrow morning. My arm's getting sore. I'll see you tomorrow for our biggest day of the challenge. Good night, everyone. Good morning, guys. I just woke up. I'm literally gonna cry. Ben had to leave for work really early this morning. Ben is my boyfriend, if you weren't aware. He had to leave for work really early this morning, and I've just woken up and I got up and the heater is turned on, and I don't know why, but this is so cute. I've got a little bed made up for me on the couch with my stack of books and like my laptop and stuff. Like, are you joking? The lad knows that I have to have a long day of reading today, and he's like, you know what, let me make you more comfortable. So cute. Anyways, good morning. I'm gonna make a coffee and we're gonna finish the last 30 pages of that god-awful book that I was reading. Oh god, okay. Hello. Okay, so let's officially start the day, even though I've already started it. I've just done my hair and done my skincare for the morning and everything. Had breakfast, had a coffee, done all of that fun beginning of the day stuff. And it's Friday today. So our reading time for Friday is 6 hours and 31 minutes, which is the longest reading day out of the entire week. So far Monday was pretty long, you know, another 6 hours. This is the longest day, and when I first did this video, like, you know, quite a while ago now, Friday was the day where I gave up. I'm feeling so energized and good and like ready to read. Like, I am loving, well, I'm obviously not loving what I'm reading because I've read 3 2-star books. I'm just loving the process of reading. I'm loving, like, even the 2-star books that I'm reading, I'm still enjoying the process of reading those books, even if I'm not loving them, just because I love reading so much and I love consuming stories. So I'm so excited to keep reading today. I have already read for 56 minutes this morning, so I do have, you know, quite a bit of reading ahead of me today. But I think what I'm gonna do is just read in kind of like big chunks and then take a break when there's something that I need to do. Like, I do have a little bit to do today, but I'm just gonna like spread it out in between my reading. But I've read for 56 minutes already this morning. First of all, I finished every value break. That took about 10 minutes to finish, to be honest. I didn't explain this properly last night. I think I just said that I really wasn't loving it, and yeah, it's not a very good book. It's really, really unfortunate because Peter Swanson has written one of my favorite thrillers of all time, which is The Kind Worth Killing. And so this is the second book that I've read by him. And I was expecting it to be a bit of a hit because I loved Peter Swanson's writing style and story construction when I've read that first book. And this one just doesn't have any of the things that I loved about the first book by him that I read. I will continue to read some of his other thrillers because I do still own some of his other thrillers, but this one just wasn't very good, and I maybe should have checked the Goodreads reviews before I went and bought this one. Everyone is kind of giving it 1 or 2 stars, and I'm like, that absolutely makes sense. I just feel like it was trying to be quite feminist and quite like, look at the woman fighting back. But I don't know, I don't want to be rude, but I think because it's coming from a man's perspective, it didn't really hit the mark. And at the end of the day, I was reading a book about a bunch of incels committing violent acts against women. And like, yes, they were supposed to be the villains, you know, like Peter Swanson is going like, see, these men are bad, like they're bad, we don't like incels and men's rights activists. But like, I also don't want to read about their violent acts towards women though. Like, I don't want to read that. I read for escapism. I read mystery and thrillers for it to be so far out of the realm of possibility. Like, I read mystery thrillers because they are so not my reality. Mysteries and thrillers are usually incredibly outlandish. And this is very outlandish, but it's definitely set in a reality that we live in that I don't like. which is men committing violent acts towards women, men hating women, men being very misogynistic. And I know Peter Swanson is supposed to be like, we shouldn't be like this, we should respect women. I feel like it just missed the mark. Like, it didn't do it all that well, to be honest, and I just don't think the subject matter was very good. You know, there's something to be said about, like, you know, my favorite genre being women getting revenge on like men for the terrible acts that they have committed against them. I don't want to see like men doing the same thing, because I see that on the fucking news. I did give it 2 stars. I think it did end up being, you know, pretty gripping at the end, but in a way where I like wanted to look away but I couldn't. Like, I was going like, this is so bad, this is so bad, you know? So I feel like that writing style like was good towards the end, but the pacing at the beginning was just so weird. My reasoning for giving this 2 stars instead of 1 is because when I compare this to the other 1-star book that I have read this month, this is miles better, but it's still not good. Anyways, I told you guys I was gonna read on my Kindle last night. I read like 5% of a Kindle Unlimited book, but this morning I have been obsessed with it. I can't stop reading. I'm reading Mile High by Liz Tomford, I think. It's a long book. I didn't realize it would be this long. It's like 600 pages, but I think I'm at like 25%. So, you know, I've read a quarter of it. I think I've read like 150 pages. And it is so fun. Like, I'm genuinely having such a good time reading this romance. I can't remember the last time that I was like gripped into a romance this quickly, especially a Kindle Unlimited one. This is so much fun. Basically, we follow our 2 main characters. We have Stevie, who is a flight attendant, and Evan Zanders, who is a famous hockey player. And on this like hockey team, they have this like private plane, and Stevie's been hired to be one of the air hostesses on this plane. Zanders and Stevie have this kind of instant attraction, but a really bad first impression of each other. Like, he is incredibly rude to her from the get-go, and she's just like, I'm just trying to do my fucking job. And then they have this like bantery kind of like bickering relationship. They're definitely kind of obsessed with each other, but Zanders is so much more obsessed with her. And I was really worried at the beginning of the novel, because I was like, oh, he's gonna be like a player, he's gonna be an asshole, he's gonna be really annoying. He switched so quickly, and I definitely feel like there's gonna be a lot of backstory with his life, which I feel like I'm very excited to learn about, so we can get more depth to him. Stevie, I'm already in love with. Like, from the first page, I was like, I love you. Zanders took about 10% of the novel to warm up, and then I was like, I love him as well, because he's so obsessed with Stevie and so protective over her, but not in a way that is like really gross and possessive and really like, I'll burn the world down, I'll punch a man in the face. Like, you know, it's not like that. It's like he just wants to, I love it. I actually am getting butterflies. I am loving it. I'm really excited to keep reading this one. I'm so excited. It's genuinely so fun. Definitely worth the hype. I've heard like nothing but good things about this romance, and I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it. Fuck, I love a hockey romance. Like, yeah, it's really good so far. I'm really excited to keep reading. I, however, will probably not keep reading it now. I'm gonna go put some makeup on and finish getting ready for the day, but I think once I do that, I'm gonna jump back into A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon and get this done. I left off on page 137, so I still have over half the book to go, but I think I really want to get this done today. And because it's, you know, we've got 6 hours, I definitely feel like I can get more books read as well, so I'm looking forward to that. But I'm gonna go put some makeup on, look nice, do a little bit around the house, and then get straight back into my couch bed that my boyfriend made for me and read more of this. So I'm feeling really good today. I feel like today is gonna be the best day of reading. I'm so excited, guys. I'm genuinely so excited, and I'm in such a good mood. So hello everyone, it is nighttime now because I have read 3 hours and 14 minutes. I have done 3 hours and 14 minutes of reading, and let me tell you, I'm feeling great. I am feeling great about it. I finished A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I didn't do a lot of vlogging for this one just because I did the majority of my vlogging for my Patreon book club vlog. So if you want to hear like my full thoughts, including spoilers on this book, you can join my Patreon and you'll see the vlog and everything. It will definitely be up by the time this one's up. But yeah, I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars. I think I just wasn't really connecting to it all that well, and I think I found the female main character to be way more developed than the male one, so therefore I wasn't really rooting for the romance, which is a shame, but it was still like really fun. Like, I loved the atmosphere, and there were definitely aspects about the book that I liked. It just wasn't like my all-time favorite. But yeah, another book done. I don't know what book I'm up to at this stage, but I do know Friday is nearly over. We have 2 more days of this. I don't know what to read next for the next 3.5 hours. I mean, I have, you know, the books I've been talking about, All In and As Good As Dead. I posted an Instagram story on my Bookstagram, jamies.library on Instagram, if you don't follow me there already. But I posted a little Instagram story basically just being like, help me decide what to read. And I feel like people have given me some responses. Okay, let's look through these. A lot of people saying Happy Place. I'm actually going to be reading that for a 24-hour readathon that I'm going to be doing next week, so I probably won't do that. Someone said As Good As Dead, and that book was not even in the photo, so kind of love that. A lot of people saying Ninth House. I don't know if I'm like mentally prepared for Ninth House right now. A lot of people saying Law by Alexandra Bracken. I feel like we should check that out. This one here, Law by Alexandra Bracken. This is a YA fantasy, and I think it's a retelling of a certain myth, but I'm not sure which one. I know that this is a standalone fantasy novel, and I am in the mood for fantasy, but I'm not in the mood to start a new series or continue a series. So like, I feel like standalone fantasy could be not a bad idea. You know what? I'm gonna put this by my bedside table. I think I have a couple of other books sitting there as well that I could potentially read. So I'm gonna put this by my bedside table as an option for the rest of the week, but I might start with something that I know, because also I could just read the book on my Kindle. I could just read Mile High. Like, that is where my heart is telling me to go, is to go back into my Kindle and read Mile High. I'm actually obsessed with that book right now. That's all I can think about. I might save Mile High to binge tomorrow, you know, something to look forward to, and I might, you know, stick with what I know and start As Good As Dead, because this is the final book in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I finished Good Girl Bad Blood in January, so it's definitely been a long time coming. Like, it's been quite a few months since finishing that book. I still have it like imprinted on my brain. Like, I don't need a refresher or anything, but I might, if I leave it too long, to read this one and finish the trilogy. So I think I'm gonna go for As Good As Dead. Okay, I'm excited to read this one. Done deal. This is what we're going with. I'm ready. Hello everyone, how are we? It's been a couple of days and it's time to conclude this video. I uploaded all the footage. There's like 2 hours. We're done. We are done. I'm aware that I didn't complete Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Well, actually no, I did complete Friday, but I was just such an emotional wreck that I like was not vlogging. I just wanted to be a slob. I didn't want to do my makeup. I didn't want to look nice. I didn't want to wash my hair. I was just a slob about it. So keep in mind, I finished Friday, but after that I just wanted to have a weekend. But honestly, swapping my screen time for reading time over 5 days, I would say was a very massive success, and I had such a good time doing it. I do want to say that I actually did finish As Good As Dead on Friday, and I had the fucking time of my life. I loved this book so much and gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm kind of upset that I didn't vlog the process, but at the same time it was such an emotional, like, personal experience. Like, I love this series with my entire heart. I love it so much, and so being able to just sit and like, I don't think I took a single break reading this novel. It was just absolutely excellent. I genuinely cried so much, and just the way that the story progressed was incredibly powerful. It got so dark, but it was so good, and it just really felt like the perfect conclusion to this series. I can understand that a lot of people would be mad at the conclusion, but I really loved it. I thought it was just incredible. So I'm so glad that I did actually manage to read this. Even if it's not in the video, I'm glad that I managed to read it during the week. So it's time for our conclusion. Thank you for watching this video. I know it's a really long one. I feel like I should be trying to, like, I don't know, talk about some lesson that I learned or have some sort of takeaway from this experience. But I honestly don't. I just had a really, really good time reading so much. Like, I genuinely felt like I read so much. And now I know that, like, if I'm ever fucking doom scrolling on TikTok one day, pick up a book instead, because I'll get so much more done, and I promise you I will have a much better time. Videos like this, which force me to read a lot of books and read a lot, genuinely are my favorite to film. So please let me know if you enjoyed it. But before that, let's do a quick wrap up of everything that we read during the week. I read 7 books total, not including what I read of Mile High on my Kindle. I think I got up to 50% of that over the weekend. So really I read like 7.5 in 1 week, not, well, more like 6 days. That's insane. Okay, first we started with Gleam by Raven Kennedy. I rated this 5 out of 5 stars. It was such an amazing start to the week. Then I read Survive the Night, which was an incredibly pleasant surprise. Even though everyone told me I would hate it, I genuinely enjoyed it so much. gave it 4 stars. I read The League of Gentlewomen Witches by India Holton. This one was very disappointing, unfortunately, and I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. I think I then read The Playlist on Kindle Unlimited. Also not a great read. I gave this 2 out of 5 stars as well. Then I read Every Vow You Break by Peter Swanson, and on our string of 2-star reads, it also was 2 stars. Then I read A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon for my Patreon, and I gave this 3 out of 5 stars. If you do want more details on this novel, there is a full spoiler-filled reading blog on my Patreon page. And then finally, off camera, I read As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson, which I gave 5 stars. I will be telling you guys about this so much more in my wrap-up, which will be coming very, very soon. So yeah, just know that I loved this, and I will give my full review in an upcoming video. So that is all the reading that I did this week. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you got to the end of this incredibly ambitious video, I applaud you. Like, well done. You have sat through a lot of my rambles. But yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all so much. A reminder that all my socials are linked down below, so if you want to follow me on Bookstagram, or if you want to join my Patreon so you can see more exclusive content from me, that is all linked down there. You guys know what to do. But yeah, again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you very, very soon in another video. Bye!